Hi there, everyone. Good evening. So, very happy to invite all of you for another edition of the Abundance Show. Today, we have an interesting guest. His name is Dhaval, Mr. Dhaval, who's actually into coaching, into wellness coaching, and into fitness and into nutrition, and all of that. So, let me just do a brief introduction to him before getting him on the camera. Okay. So, Dhaval Bhadeshiya is a successful IT cloud architect turned nutrition and lifestyle coach. Dhaval works with busy, successful professionals to get them into a space of high energy to help them manage stress and to lose weight. Dhaval Bhadeshiya is an internationally certified nutrition and lifestyle coach. He conducts weekly live trainings on Facebook and shares resources with his followers to help them have more energy, strength, manage stress, and to lose weight without painful exercises and strict diets. I know that's something very unique to him, and that makes it very, very interesting for us to know how exactly does he do that. So without further delay, let me invite Dhaval on the stage. Let him come back. Yes, Dhaval, hi, how are you?
I'm
Good to
good,
see you.
Satish. How are you? Good to
Good to
see
see
you
you.
too. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So let's plunge straight in, okay, Dhaval. So what has been your life before you became the successful wellness coach and the coach who's the go-to person for corporate executives to get themselves into fitter shape? What were you doing earlier?
So yeah, as you already said, I retired from the life of corporate IT as an IT cloud architect. So I started on a IT corporate ladder. Anybody in early 2000s would start. So from assembling computers to repairing printers to networking to virtualization to cloud, the way industry went up, I went with the industry, kept learning, kept growing, and work with some of the biggest names in the industry like Microsoft, NetApp, Oracle, HP, and stuff. So yeah, that's what I did before I became a full-time nutrition and lifestyle coach.
Very nice, very nice. So how was your journey in the corporate when you're working in the corporate space?
I think it was amazing. Okay, super duper amazing, right? So for a lot of people, they switch their careers because they're not happy with what
Yeah,
they have. And I would be lying if I say the life in IT was bad, because if I really have to be honest, everything that I learned, everything that I grew with was my life in IT for 15 years. Like I've had an amazing exposure working for like the big companies, working, traveling around the globe, talking to different people from different cultures, understand all these things. So life was amazing, super duper successful IT career. Because for somebody who's not even an engineer, I'm a BCom graduate. Okay, for somebody who is not even an engineer to first get into the field of IT and then become a cloud architect, it's purely a dream come true, and I've lived that dream. So I like amazing life.
very good, very good, very interesting. So what prompted you to shift from the IT career to this space of wellness and fitness? What prompted you?
Yeah, so I wouldn't say there is like one point which says, okay, this thing happened, lightning struck, and next day morning I woke up with that thing that, okay, I'm going to be a fitness coach, right? So for me, health and fitness has been part of my life almost from when I was 17, 18 years old. So I've been, I was a college level athlete. Then, the life happened. I continued to going to gym, taking care of my health, worked in the space of IT, but I always had fitness and taking care of my health as you know just going parallelly with my life, like 3 to 4 days in a gym, eating some of the healthy things that I know are healthy, and taking care of my sleep and all these things has always been part of it. And I believe that had a strong reason why I was successful in IT, right? And so that's always been part of my life. And slowly as the life progressed, the work responsibility increased, you get married, kids, the responsibility at work at home also increased. And I started seeing that my fitness started to feel a little difficult, because taking the same amount of time was not happening. And then being a technical guy, I was like looking at how can I get more by doing less. So where do I get the efficiency? By eliminating everything that I'm, not productive. So that's where I started learning, like, how can I work out less, how can I eat the right thing, so that I don't spend too much of time. My career, my life, and my fitness should coexist. It's not either fitness or career, all of these. And that's where I had this learning journey, learning experience. I realized that, the quality of trainers, coaches, and all these things in India, when I started learning, wasn't that great. So I had to go out of India, go to online coaching schools and all of these things, which are very common now, but like 5 years back nobody knew that fitness could be online, right? So I started learning, and then at one point, it was a decision that, okay, I know something that can benefit all this busy professionals who are just like me. They are my friends. People are coming asking for help. I've been asking them, why not make it a career? Why not help reach out more people and do it? So it was like going from good to great, and that's how it worked.
Nice, nice, very interesting. As I understand, your way of doing this is quite unique. I think you have to close that window of yours on the Facebook or something if it's on the phone. It's
Is
echoing.
it?
Yeah.
I
So,
don't see any. Okay,
what
there's
has been
nothing
unique
on.
for you
Hmm.
in fitness and wellness as compared to what others do? What is unique to your style of approaching fitness for professionals? What makes you stand out?
So, see, when I started into it and when I learned the basic principles that we learned, everybody and everything was about, okay, what food to eat, and the huge list of not to do things. Okay, you
Mhm.
can't do this, you can't do it. And people talk about, oh, you have to sacrifice. Okay, you can't live a social life and be fit. You can't have your, weekend beer if you want to stay fit. You can't have cakes and all of these so-called rules. And somehow I didn't feel congruent to it. Okay, saying that, okay,
Mhm.
it cannot be like that. Like it's like either or situation, right? Either you do this or you suffer. And that's
Mhm.
where I started exploring and learning, what is it? Is it reality, or is it just the, smoke screen that is being created around? And that's where I started learning. And what I understood is, one, that's not the reality. You can eat your ice creams, chocolates, have your weekend beers, and
Wow.
still live a healthy and active life. And the second part is, it has a lot more to do with you than the
Mhm.
food and exercise. Okay, your
Mhm.
behavior, your thinking process about food changes everything, even if you're eating the same food. So
Mhm.
that's how it's different. So I work with people to help
Mhm.
them change their behavior and identity towards health and fitness, rather than talking the same thing about, oh, this is the food that you have to avoid, this is what you have to eat, or all of these
Mhm.
things. So mine
Mhm.
is not about, food and exercise. My
Mhm.
coaching is for people. Like, I work with individuals, people, and I work and help them.
Okay, so it's almost like it's tailor-made for your clients to understand what lifestyles they lead, what are their challenges, and what is their day-to-day living style, and accordingly you give them the solution for them to work around that, right?
Exactly. So it's like, it's different for every individual, right? See, a lot of people have, for example, this 5 a.m. club. Okay, that, oh, if
Yeah.
you can't wake up at 5 a.m., you can't be healthy, you can't be successful. Now, I've lived in the world of IT, and like most of my friends, used to work from 2 p.m. to 11 a.m., or some of them started their work at 5 p.m. in the evening. And do you expect them to leave everything and say, oh, I have to wake up at 5 a.m.? Because 2 a.m. is the guy who is just going to sleep. If he wakes up at 5 a.m., he's going to be a disaster. Right. So it's
Mm.
the rhetoric that's created around all this, rigid rules and those things, where you just have to work with him and say, okay, for you, sleep is important. When can you sleep? How can you improve that? And that's what I work upon, rather than talking about those rhetoric that are created by so-called gurus out there, right?
Very interesting. Very interesting, Dhaval. Because I think what ends up happening is that you, of course, get a lot of knowledge in terms of what needs to be done, what food and all of that, what exercise and sleep habits and all of that. But it also ends up putting a lot of load on you in terms of feeling guilty about not being able to stick to those regime. And I've been following you for some time. I've been seeing that the way you approach is very, very easygoing and very, very practical, I would say, so that when people look at making changes in their lifestyle, which would be very minimal, they understand the why behind it and they can also implement it in an easy fashion and get the results that they want looking for. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Good. So, any breakthroughs of any clients that you can share with us?
So, like a lot, I don't want to make it like a testimonial show as such, but the simplest thing is one, like I don't tell my clients what to eat. I don't tell them not to eat any specific thing. So we have discussions around, what are their favorite foods, how they want to do it. And one of the clients that I am currently working with, like we are 4-6 weeks into a coaching program, and like first 6 weeks we don't even talk about food, right? We literally don't talk about food in terms of what to eat. And last week when I was having my one-to-one discussion with him, is like, see, I used to feel like having finishing my dinner and then I need to have a biryani, okay, after dinner.
Oh,
I'm like, okay, but you know what, I don't want to have it now. Now it's like I have not told him not to do it. Okay. I have not told him not to overeat, not to do that. He said every time I used to see non-veg, every time I used to see ice cream, I always wanted to have it. Now it's become so clear in my mind that only if I see a certain brand and flavor of ice cream, I want to have it. I myself know what is the quantity I want to have. And, if I were to do it 8 times in a week, now it has come to 2 times in a week. Now, this is where the change comes from within by giving him the right tools, right options, and building the right skills so that he can take it forward. So, this is the kind of work that I do rather than, like if I tell him not to have biryani, he's still going to have it. He will just not tell me, right?
yeah,
So that's the difference. Here it's
yeah.
opposite. I'm like, why don't you have it? He said, I don't want to. I don't feel like having. And that's the change because he doesn't want. It's not a coach doesn't want him. He doesn't want to do it. So that's the thing that I can talk about in very simple words.
Very nice. Very nice. So, as I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, you like to work closely with professionals and corporate executives who are facing challenges with their energy and with their health and all of that. And what is the kind of results that they can expect when they sign up and work closely with you?
So yeah, as you said, I work mostly with corporate professionals and parents. Okay, some of them are parents, some of them are non-working parents because this is the stage of life between 35 and 45 where everything is at the peak. Okay, your workload is at the peak. This is where you want to make most of all the experience that you have gained. You have either you got married, you have kids want your time, and you're like you're bombarded with everything. Your parents are getting old, so you want to take care of them. So it's like everything in life is at its peak. Now the way to look at it is either it could be looked at as a burden or it could be looked at as opportunity to do everything that you really wanted, right? So that is where I work with people who are in this particular stage of life where their careers are at peak. They want to do more and better with their careers. They want to spend quality time with the kids, and they want to make sure that they have enough time for their family and all the things that they really want to do. So that's what I do. And with respect to the results that they can expect, so I would say the most important thing that they can expect is energy. Okay, within first couple of weeks when people start working with me, the first thing they tell me is that the energy level shoots up. Okay, and I believe that's the key because when you have more energy you can do more work in less time, which means you have more time, and when you have more time you can do what matters to you, and then you can use that time for your going and doing some kind of workout activity, all of these, you start losing weight, you're not stressed anymore, you start improving your sugar levels and all the health parameters that normally people have problems with nowadays. So diabetes, blood pressure, thyroid, all these conditions get much better at this stage. So this is what I really work with people for.
Very nice. I think that age bracket that you mentioned, that's a very interesting one because I think that is the age, like you said, when people are at their peak and they're very ambitious and working towards it. But also, it's a place where probably a lot of habits can actually be unlearned and relearned. And I think that could be a very strong foundation for them as they age. I think that's a very, very crucial stage where you are helping them. I think that's going to make a big difference to them for the future as well. Yeah. So,
Absolutely, because I'm in the stage, so I know almost like what happens, right? Everything that you have done so far is now showing up the results, and you want to either make or break,
yeah.
right? So from here.
Yes. Good. So, how has your journey been so far, Dhaval, in the space of being a wellness coach? And any suggestions or any advice you'd like to give to people who are having similar aspirations like you have?
So journey's been amazing. It's been one of the most fulfilling journeys to be in, because every day morning I wake up with somebody thanking me for changing their life. Now, that's a very big thing, because as an individual, if you look at it from the spiritual angle, if your life can change somebody else's life, even if you can change one life, it's a huge impact. And I almost on an average get one response, one message, either on Facebook, on my WhatsApp, saying that, Dhaval, this changed my life. People who worked with me say, when we sit together and we now, with the new way of eating, we thank you every time we eat as a family. So like that's a huge thing. So it's been amazing. At the same time, the advice to people who want to go into this is to go deep. Okay, because and I was just before this, I was talking to one of the other friends who is into similar space, and we're talking about the fads that are around, the shortcuts that are around for people, thinking that, oh, like 1 month nutrition coach is going to make me course is going to make me a great coach, or just because I know 5 exercise I become a personal trainer. So it doesn't work that way, right? It's a lot of learning, a lot of unlearning the old ways of doing it, what we've been seeing in the gyms and the diet industry fads, and then relearning the right thing, testing those things if that really works for you and your clients. And so it's a continuous learning process, the learning journey. But it's amazing if you really enjoy it, if you're passionate about it. It's the best place to be.
Very nice. Very nice. So, any pro tip for people who are following you and who are actually working professionals now, and then what could you tell them as an advice? Maybe one advice or two advice.
Okay, so if you say one thing, right now, this is what in fact, I have this, something that I'm working on, which will come out soon, is that if you ask me for one thing, that one thing is, there is no one thing. Okay? Because there is nothing which is like a singular. It's a marketing narrative that is created. Marketing schools teach us that, okay, share only one thing that can change people's life. But I would want to say, don't look at it at one thing. Look at one thing to get started with. Okay, and then continue that step, that journey forward, because every time there is something next for you. So if you're just going to make one change to your life, that one change is not enough to give you the lifelong results if you're looking for lifelong results.
Yeah.
So then in that case, there is nothing called one thing is the one thing. Okay, so, and from the advice point of view, if you are going to get started in the journey of improving your health, losing weight and fitness, give priority to your energy. Okay, because energy will change the game for you, because everybody gets 24 hours of time. Okay, all that's the biggest leveler in this world. Like, You have 24 hours, I have 24 hours, everybody gets it. Okay,
Yeah.
nobody is deprived of it. But what you can do in those 24 hours will depend upon how much of energy that you have to do it.
Hmm.
Right, all my corporate life I had the energy enough to finish 8 hours of work in 5 hours, which means 3 hours I
Hmm.
had for myself to learn and develop. Now if you're going to spend 9 hours just doing work, then you have no energy left to learn and improve. So if you are working with your coach, with your trainer, work on the things which will first increase your energy, which will save time. So you have more time, and now that you have that time, you use that time to build strength, lose weight, and you will start managing your stress and all these things better.
Very nice. Very good tip. Work on your energy and see what it takes to improve your energy. Right?
Yeah, thank
So
you.
tell me, what do you do in terms of keeping yourself abreast and keeping yourself ahead of the game? What do you do in terms of your learnings?
So, in terms of keeping myself ahead of the game, it is simple learning, right? So, uh, it's been 5 years since I started, professionally helping people and become a coach. My learning has never stopped. There is no single month where I'm not learning. Okay, I have not invested time, money, energy into learning something different, something new, something next level, because that's what happens. You learn something, and from there you always have two choices. Once, okay, now this is my peak. Do I want a peak to be higher, or this is where I want to get flatter? Okay, so the choice that I've been making is learning better coaching, better tools, better techniques, so that I can produce results in much more efficient way for my clients, and I can take care of my health, which has been a priority for me. And yeah, that's what keeps me, and that's what I do to keep myself ahead of the game.
Very good. Very good. So tell me, any other interests other than fitness, and what is your idea of chilling out?
Oh, idea of chilling out is just chilling out, right? Do nothing. So, and that's a great question, because fitness was my hobby, right? This is something I really liked, enjoyed. So most of the things that I do with respect to fitness are not energy consuming things for me. They are energy giving things for me. So they produce energy for me. So I like it. And then, like anything, like, watching cricket, playing with my kids. I have two kids, reading books, and yeah, just chill out. Anything, and I can, talk about almost any topic to anybody. So I like to talk. I talk to friends, talk to you, a lot of people around, and that's chilling out.
Nice, nice, great, Dhaval. Nice work they're doing in terms of helping the right kind of people, and I think the working professionals in India, they are the actually future for the country, and giving them the right inputs at this stage, like we talked, creating the right habits for them, creating the right mindset for them, and look for the right aspirations for them in their mind. Clarity in that is going to go a long way for them to also look at their future in a very bright fashion. So, any last message from your side, considering the times that we are living in? Anything that you would like to say in general?
Yep. So the thing which I hear very frequently now from a lot of working professionals, especially in the field of IT, is because we are working from home, we have no time. Right now, I remember there was a time where we all used to beg to work from home. Or like, okay, I've got laptop, I've got internet connectivity. Why can't I work from home? Now that we have got that, we are saving a lot of time from commuting in Bangalore. You already know, like 2-3 hours on an average was spent on traveling, which is saved now. And people now have no time. So now this is where you got to think, okay, was it traveling? Was it your corporate company or people around you not helping you have time? Or is it your ability to manage time which is a problem? Okay, and it's the later one, because if you really don't know how to draw boundaries, how to manage your time well, no matter whether you work from home or you go to office, you will always end up feeling exhausted, working for 10-15 hours unnecessarily. And it's a rabbit hole that you get into, right? You just keep going
Yeah.
down and there is no way up. So if you can learn to manage your time well, and improve your energy levels, that's going to be the case. Because I've learned it. I work from home. Last few years of my IT life, I've literally not seen my office. I just go in there once in 6 months, 8 months, whenever there is some need for me to exchange my hardware, which I can't do it at home. So I've lived that, and I think that makes a lot of difference. You got to build the skills to really manage your time well, and that's very important.
Very nice message. Yeah, makes sense. So it's been wonderful chatting with you, Dhaval, and I wish you all the very best and keep doing the good work that you're doing already, and many more successes to you and your people.
Thank you so much. My pleasure having appeared on this show. I've been watching few of the episodes, and a lot of things that I've learned from this, Satish. So, yeah, thank you so much. Keep doing this. Bring in more experts and keep us learning.
Our aspirations as mankind is growing. We have begun to question ourselves and are trying to delve deep within to understand ourselves and to grow. We want to operate out of a deep sense of purpose. We have realized that humans can alter their lives by altering the attitudes of mind. Here's an attempt to connect, share, get some of the successful people to open up about their journeys. An attempt to delve into their minds, thought process and attitudes, how they think, feel, operate, and what are the habits that make them who they are. In the process, accept ourselves with all our insecurities, vulnerabilities, fear, and work towards transforming ourselves into better versions for today and tomorrow. I am Satish Rao. I am an abundance crusader, vlogger, online and network marketer. I am passionate about creating abundance in all areas of our lives.